of course, I'm the Public Affairs Officer of the Ghana Journalists Association. Thank you for the opportunity. A few questions. I wanted to know and understand the unveiling of the new six. What will be their role exactly? What kind of role are they going to play in your whole Youth Force movement and then campaign? That's number one. Number two, it's on the issue of continuous registration. I think that I wanted to know if you have made an attempt to lobby Parliament on that issue, because I know that the issue with continuous registration has to do with an LI, which the EC, I'm not here holding brief for the EC, but I know that it is involved with an LI, which was sent to Parliament but was rejected, or what didn't get the consensus from both sides. And so the EC, as at now, is operating with a previous LI, which is what is being used. In order to get that continuous registration, you need to have an LI which will enable that. And of course, you can also get that clarification from the EC. I wanted to know if you had actually lobbied Parliament on that. And the other question...
You have 3 questions? I won't be able to memorize all of them, and I think a lot of people... In fact, I'm taking 5 questions, so 2 is okay.
Thank you, so I'll let others.
Yeah, so
thank you very much.
Okay, so the first one, it's about the new 6 and what their positions are. Of course, I won't be able to tell you all the positions, but I want you to know that this is where some great leaders are going to come from. You know, we are talking about the governance of this country, the legal structure of this country, the financial sector of this country, and the industrial and humanitarian development of this country. And we're talking of advice. All of these people will be coming out. But since it's unveiling system, I would plead with all of you so we can enjoy that suspense of seeing who is coming next and who is coming after. But I just wanted everyone to understand that we have made sure that the 6 angles of governance, development, structures, financial, investors, and all of that is what we're putting together for this country. The Big 6 is supposed to shape the development of this country, and therefore we are not going to depend on borrowing money from outside and bringing outsiders to invest in our country before we think that we're becoming successful. That's what they're shaped for, to be internally strong and build a strong governance that will shape this country's future for the rest of our lives and the ones who are coming. Thank you. You talked about EC and the airline. I don't think I should be in a position to fix the problem for governmental institutions. I think that it should be their common rights to see and know that if I don't help this youth and the people who are entitled to vote, then I'm taking away their rights. And that's what the government is supposed to do. At the moment, to address what you said properly, I think a government is an embodiment of a nation that governs us as long as we live. A politician is a chosen leader that will come for a particular specific years if it's under the regime of democracy. And I don't expect orders from above to control the government. I expect the government to use the laws of our judiciary system, the legislation, the executive arm of this country, to govern the politicians. And until we make sure that is implemented, I think we might be going under some kind of dictatorship whilst we're practicing democracy. These differences needs to be straightened. And I want to use this moment to address that EC could be one of the institutions that can help to clarify these situations, to support the people, to move them away from being disenfranchised. And let's hold the government responsible for governmental duties and responsibilities. Although I sent letters to the Parliament, to the Christian Council, and copied everyone, including EC, I still haven't heard anything from anyone. Thank you.
Okay. Question here. Coffee Day, GTV. So on a personal level, what's so you all hear me.
On a personal level, what's been your biggest surprise running for president of Ghana? That's the first question. And the second question, if you become president of Ghana, how are you going to be dealing with illegal mining, aka galamsey, which is affecting so many sectors of our economy?
Thank you. Thank you. Kafui, I would say that maybe I won't talk about my first biggest surprise, but my second biggest surprise was when you were supposed to ask me this question on your station, on your show, and they cancelled my interview with you. And it was because the orders from above. And today, you happen to be with one of these press people to ask me this question. I think you're a great interviewer, and so much could have come out that day if it's not because of how partisans we are becoming in this country. That me coming to GTV, and the first thing that GTV, which is a Ghana national television that we have been watching our whole life that belongs to this country, would cancel my event or my speaking moment interview with you. And I'm sure you were surprised too, as much as I was surprised. So it's one of my biggest surprises. Second.
Beyond that, what's a surprise you're running for president?
Well, if I have to go on and on and on, I'll tell you a lot. A lot of cancellations have been my surprise. You know, I think that, you know, a government should embrace their own. That's how the new Ghana should be. If somebody wakes up tomorrow and they say they want to become the next Kwame Nkrumah, or they want to become the next Patrice Lumumba, as a nation, we have to embrace them. If somebody wants to be Bill Gates and they believe they're going to be Bill Gates, let's not laugh at them. Let's not cancel their ways of trying to voice out their vision. Let's not interfere with their plans and their visions. Because if you do that, you will make that citizen be surprised if truly they're Ghanaian or they're not. So these are my surprises. And I will have a lot if I have to go through. But I just wanted to use your one as a great example because I was truly surprised. And I'm sure you were too, because you were waiting for me and you just found out that orders from above says, I can't be there.
We'll explore them when we have the interview later.
Well, I have been called twice and I still said that I feel like I need an apology letter from GTV, not from the government, but from them as an institution. It's only right that they have to say, we're sorry we treated you that way. Can we have an interview? And you'll be the first person I'd like to say with. Now the second question, galamsey, okay, illegal mining. It is destroying our country. The sad thing is, it's not our country people that destroyed our country. They were still doing illegal mining. We could have controlled them. But we let in the Chinese, and there are millions of Chinese in our country. And they mine 24/7. Now all our waters are poisoned. And the food that we're starting to eat is this same water system that is feeding the ground. So, believe it or not, in the next 10 to 15 years, don't be scared if you see any children with 3 eyes or 7 fingers.
It's happening already.
It's happening already? Okay. Now, for me as a leader, the first thing I will do is I will stop the foreigners who are destroying my land. In fact, if the Chinese are hearing me, I will probably put hundreds of thousands of them under house arrest and call the Chinese president that this is what you've done to my country. You have caused 33 million people's lives. And therefore, you are going to be responsible for building and fabricating all our nest plants that will recycle this water again for us to get our life back. And after, I will release your 100,000 people to you after 4 years of hard work to fix my country. Just to show the world that we are not animals here. You cannot go to anyone's country and destroy their water, destroy their cocoa, destroy their whole life. What kind of government do we have? And they're sitting down watching them. What is Ghana today? Who are we? Anybody comes to our country and experiment us and do whatever they like and they go out just because they put something in a brown envelope for somebody who is not even certified to be a minister or to be a leader. This revolutionary consciousness is to stop certain things that is coming from outside into our country, that it's being manipulated. You know, we are being restricted. We're being destroyed. And our leaders can see it. And they're just watching it happen. I watch. Now, on the other note, with the local people who are also Galamseys, what am I going to do to them? Would I arrest them too? No. But I have to call all of them. I have to stop them and re-employ them. Because I know that they know the work. But they haven't been given the opportunity to do the work. So I want to give them the opportunity that they should be able to give us our ultimatum. I am looking for 200 tons because I'm going to tell you right now, this country have less than 8 tons in our central bank. And that's why we have to borrow money below $1 billion. Up until recently, when we needed 3 billion, we had to buy gold to make it almost 14 tons before we can borrow that 3 billion. When you go to Dubai, when you go to Emirates, these people are buying our gold every day. They pack it, they refine it, keep it as reserves. When it gets to 200 tons, they call any financial institution and say, look at my gold, it's stamped, it's Swiss stamp. I need 200 billion. And you just show them the gold and you have to take the money. So we can let our Galamseys come and work for us in the next 3 years to reach the 200 billion, and I will write all your loans off one touch. Because you have the money. God has given you the wealth. If you cannot see it, the person who can see it better will come and take it. But I want you, and I want Ghanaians to be rest assured, I am not that baboon. Minye obia afe ena me ba betra na me hwe me nkrofo na we sisi omo na we fa we nka sa na ye ka no dia nka manya me die bi ka me ba ha ba ye den but ena wo sunti ena nam no ma ekoso wo promanti enti ena me to anamon say me ba na ma ba me ba mo majai. And I will make sure I create wealth in this country. I make sure I will bring jobs in this country. Because, say, if we are able to just get another 3.5 million workers, we will have 7 million workers. 7 million workers is what we had in 1960. And the country was slightly above 7 million, which means 90-something% where they had jobs. Today, we're 33 million. And it's just about 12% that have jobs. The rest are made. Just because we're tolerating foreigners and outsiders to come and take advantage of us. And we don't even know what to do with our own people. Our own people. We have 75%, which is 0 to 45 years. The youth, this is empowerment. What are we doing with them? So this question is a great question, and I hope that you can ask me another one, but I will leave it for when I get my apology letter.
If I may add a few words to what Kwame has just said. A few of you know me. I'm almost 88. I have many business here.
Sorry, I would like to introduce
Many of them know me, right?
General Nuno. This is General Nuno, go way back from Nkrumah all the way
I
to
work
today.
with Nkrumah at Flagstaff, and now you call it Jubilee House. Now, I am here this morning because I heard Kwame was going to meet the press today. I have a medical emergency. I need not be here, but Ghana is too important for me to ignore it. Ghana's future is too important for me to ignore. At the age of 88, almost, Kwame is 44. Am I?
Twice your age. You're twice my age.
Some people at my age, below my age, like Joe Biden, they are doubting his whether the brain is working well. And my brain is working 100% well. I teach you Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem. Who can remember Pythagoras theorem? I can remember that phrase. And I'm so concerned about Ghana that I thought if I'm meeting the press, no matter what, I should be here. That's why I'm here. I have a medical issue that I shouldn't be here, but Ghana is too important. And how many of you are 50 years and above? Raise your hand for 50 years and above. How many? I can see one. And my last born is over 50.
Wow.
So I don't have any business at my age. Give me another 2 years, 90. I don't know what I will be here. But as long as I live, and Ghana is being destroyed, I will fight to my last breath. That's why I'm here. Because Kwame said, what's happened to Ghana? It never happened. Who is from Winneba? Anybody from Winneba here? Around Winneba? My father was a fisherman, and I became chief of defense staff. It's not possible today. I have to fight for myself, and I had people behind me pushing me, including Nkrumah. But today, since the last our latest constitution, the fourth African constitution, 1992, we had two governments, two parties running Ghana. It's the most abysmal performance I've seen anywhere in my life. I've been in Brazil for 12 years. I've lived in Russia. I've lived in Canada. I've lived in US. I've been everywhere under my own steam. And where Ghana is going, please, you young people, wake up. Wake up. Otherwise, when I'm dead, you come and pour libation on my grave. Then we said it, we ignore you. We need a man like Nkrumah, and that is why Kwame came. I call Kwame, so Kwame, what is the mission? Ghana must be saved. We don't care about Ghana. Nobody cares about Ghana. We are selling all our assets, and you are watching them. I've lived in Birmingham for more than 64 years, since 1960 I joined the army. Today we are selling the trade fair, and nobody opened them. But the press are mute, saying nothing. Your assets are being sold, and you are watching on. This McDan selling assets, and you are watching it. Jesus Christ, never happened in my time when I was like you. So you young people of this country, wake up, because the country is gone. Nobody in charge. Every idiot comes to Ghana and take Ghana for granted, and we are sitting down. I should fight for you at my age. I fought since so many years. In my little way, I built Ghana, I built O'Reilly, I built 6, 7 secondary school blocks. When I started building, I didn't have a land cruiser and air conditioning, and people, I was pushing wheelbarrow to build Ghana. My children didn't go to school here. I left country, Ghana in 1982. My children went to Britain and lived there. But every Ghanaian, young Ghanaian, is my concern. So please, young people, look, these two parties, I was NAPO campaign manager. Domama on advice, I was chief of defense staff, then later school advisor. They cannot fix this country, they can't do it. Take it from me, they can't do it. They'll come and lie to you, you'll do it, they can't do it. By that time, I will be gone. They come and call libation on my grave, you said it, we didn't listen to you. So please wake up. Ghana is at a risk. China, every idiot come to Ghana and take our assets, and we are watching them. Every idiot. And we are watching them. Is that right? No. Your children, how are they going to survive? I paid my school fees selling fish, going to catch crabs in Winneba. In the 1940s, after secondary school, my mother was selling in the market foodstuffs. You go to Accra, they are selling on the streets, and we don't care. We have never allowed people around. We don't care. We don't care. What kind of human being? Are we animals or human beings with feelings? Are we animals? Let's wake up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My country, meeting the Empress Anne from Ohineba Media. My son Bisane said, who speech earlier no Oka BB Ewomo about disabled. Say Yami Adom say Obaya President or my Ghana. The person me who share with the Gua Quemo Amaomo. As I say, you are disabled baby or almost a work qualification. That's when you Juma Enye, it's a disability in Tia Fawomo. I think so as Russia. MPs I enjoy no. At your time no, omo ba so I enjoy na. And near to be me here me kase pa say. Eye parliamentary no oko parliament house a. Ne akoso kase wo ha ya brofo kasa. Yen nuanu Ghana so ya bibi kasa, twi kasa de obia acting aside other languages no. What time eno na ebe akoso wo ho. I'm a very kind man for related to the policies any near my apostle. I want my no Matias, yes, Ghana. The sons I do one and Tibro for rich ya can parliament with us.
That's it. Stand by your first,
And
and Okay. Now, I'm saying, if I shall say from disabled. Say, me my speech, we can able and disabled. Now, disabled, they also have a track record in my philanthropical achievements. Who say, I have been working with disabled for a long time. And it's a guy called One Leg who is my friend. And we will be a no drop on stresses. But at the same time, no autonomy. When I saw his effort, I decided to have a one to bear madam. On any first person, we thought tricycle man, made a share some say. So to me, a human or tobacco come, I thought a third one. I mean, try a number Uber for it is our town and up in a young woman, a young woman. And then I say, One Leg or internet to wait me. We see down back, we see the money man, what talk as fine. And the catcher says, disabled for pet and the one employer. Why employ me that? My best friend is so, my friend Brown. He's blind, or who are that? But tell me who can buy me feel. And if you did Christmas, maybe they are. If you ask no, and he says, yes, send it to me. Then he says, put it back. As my person can say, now put on some more for us on him like a Brown. Because as my Brown catcher in Brimini said, was saying the biggest tragedy that befell on a man is a man with a sight but without a vision. And you have all of it. It's Brown and coming the essence and the level of my greatness. But it took Obi and near from. No, Kasama was saying, Gumi. And when who said, Sinapon private money pa, or become Beatrice, and be able to drown Chinese. But Panam. It's a lawyer, the view of him, and I have said, Omwa, Omuntia for and I say, be a young woman fully able. No. Yeah, it is a Omunka. Ushe Krumah, yes, he said, Bamupa. They were disabled, they were young force, they were elite, and they were politicians, and they were pastors, Christians. Obia, they did the box. Obia show. Undrobia, Emma Unkobi. We have to open this country and make it a one nation, one people, and one country. The idea what my come to say, disabled form, a Juma, as I said, the mom, a Juma be real home with my. Obi wa ne nine or tawa ne nsa aduma bɛyɛ no obi ɔwɔ nine ne nsa ontimi nya nti ye no an ɛsɛ ye create aduma no ne ni hɔ nti ntimi nya ba bi inform nhyehyɛ wo hwɛ kra omu yi road tolls free way toll booths free way disabled oyi o ma di omo bro e bia 400 na omo so titimo a omo so enya aduma ye a omo nya bibidi. You might come to pass it, sorting out. Now we can benefits for MP. Mean now no criminal politics. And Diana meaning and Sana. I started this movement because Diana Makuma any politics in fact. And no mabia na me fair and mine will go through and never fair. Until I am a mean to me and family and or be our politician. And yes, I mean, pet me pass him, say, maybe a politician in Pawasa. But say, me free say a man on Kosuye, no maybe Kosuye and Sua. Say, I met me no one now, say, Bia, me know, I will go set a friend and say, a babbage contract be or now, intimate yourself. And he made Bama, and no maybe or high, best Sapa, be fair. Ministries big crowd or ministries big crowd or that. Obi Bisami said. And I'm ministers in our way. Ministers, a view of Papa, a bit so baba, a bit so mudada. Namono, a view of her as a seal close of Kakra. And Sunday another right idea for that ministry. And Sunday a being. Now the right people are on Vietnam. And yes, sir, we are now the minister now the deputy. Now for the offer NIPA 500. Now Kobosia or IMF. Now they are being Omoka. See, we have to cut all of these things economically. And I think said. The MPs no, they're okay because we MP Ghana and Chester is what language are trade. We vice then and Chester is what dying to see. And since I did a Juma or the back of mining and then go for or warm. Until we are there, we give a better action. Say, I really feel all bad. Then feel my dear, I don't see why you should get all these benefits. And now, last one. Language, no. Language there. ɛho hia paa wokɔ China wɔmusua adeɛ ɛwɔ ɔmo language Mandarin wokɔ Singapore a obi asua adeɛ wɔ ne language wokɔ Dubai a obi asua adeɛ wɔ ne language woba Africa yɛka Borɔfo na yɛwɔ nyinaa yɛwɔ language mehu sɛ there's a problem with that, but I've also seen an advantage with that. The problem is that Ushe Yukura, maybe a different kasa, maybe a 10 and 20 and 30. So the different languages, no. So Michelle Granino and Titria, it's me expressive. Say Michelle Trini Tsunami Albania, also to me expressive. Tusha. Brofuni adeɛ baako a aba bɛyɛ national language, continental language a yɛbɛtumi de a express yɛ ho nti sɛ nya mmerɛ no a ntiaseɛ bɛtumi aba a yɛbɛtumi ayusu saa aborɔfo no yɛnyusu no wɔ nyansasɛm mu yɛnyusu saa aborɔfo no wɔ nyansasɛm mu na ɔmo koraa na ɔmo wɔ abɔnten no ɔmo hu sɛ policies na yɛka no nyansa wɔ mu because me deɛ menim sɛ kɔsi buroni a ɔkyerɛ me borɔfo no wayɛ mistake sɛ ɔkyerɛ me because the power of my governance and how I will use that same language to influence our continent, that will bring me the power that my own tree language cannot do. But I do respect my language and I do respect all dialects in the country. And I think that there will be a day that if they're not able to speak the tree or the Ga in parliament, there should be some sort of translation. Even if you're watching on television, that would be able to translate what they're saying to you so you can understand. There's been almost one month from and I say the main question is how we decide. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. My name is Bernard Kedaze, Oyeba Television. I have a couple of questions, but I will ask only one. What is your stand on the debates surrounding the free SHS program? Should it be abolished or reviewed? Thank you.
Okay. So, first of all, I'm not here to judge a policy, whether it should be abolished or it should continue. But I think, say, as a country, we have to have the structure and the planning to be able to give free education to our people. The question is, can we afford it? Because free education will probably come from tax people's money or our reserves. Say we recruit and we have a minus. Our GDP says 75 billion, but we can't get 3 billion. We have to go and borrow it from IMF. That means there's a big vacuum in our economy. And this problem should be looked at so it can support the decision that we've taken to give free SHS. And Tisa, Abia, the cost of it, the kids will have 3 months education and they'll go and stay home 3 months. They'll come back and they'll stay home 3 months because when you budget what it costs to give a nation free education, it's really high. That means your turnover also should be really high. I believe that if Ghana has exporting power, you see, the way to build your economy is to have exportation power, where you export a lot of goods outside. So people's economy will come into your country. If you take your money to go and import goods into your country, you're sending your economy to those people. And so the same government, if he decides to give free education, it needs that avenues that is producing revenues in the country and causing a circulation and bringing profit into the governmental system to cater for that. And they could have problems. So it's very important that we look at how our developmental agenda in this country is, the benefits that is bringing, the profitability schedules, and then apply economy of scale so we can expand education in our country from that angle. Besides that, I also think that if we're educating our people, whether it's free or paid for, please educate your country about what is in your country. The minerals in your country is important. The governance in your country is important. So what the value of gold is. and can comment also be made to go. Say, idea, you try a mamu in so keke, what it does with an irrigation system that would feed our agriculture, and the agriculture is the same food that will do the processing, which will give us the exportation power once it's processed. The agric is one, the culture is two. The culture is to process it. Now the processing is being restricted. If you don't have this education about putting plants and putting the things in place that will process these things and package them so you can put them on shelves, or you can put them in warehouses and people will load them in containers like Americans are doing, like Indians are doing, like Europeans are doing. That is the education that we need in our country. We have to add it to our academic curriculum. It is a very free education, free this, free that. But we require school now, and whatever free education that we've given our children that we're going to get benefits from will be about the fat apple. That's what I meant by exporting talent. We export our talents out and we import our products in. The product that we're importing came from the resources, the mineral resources that they extracted from us. So all we have to do is to put industrialization in the equation and everything changes. Everything. Obano, school, and because baby and you create millionaires, you create entrepreneurs, you create governors, you create leaders. Now, Obia developing the group. Who can't go chair or develop your own group? I don't want to develop your own planets or taxes. I got it for disabled. We are the cater for them. So the value of the country grows. When you put your nation first, your country automatically grows. Automatically. When you disregard your nation, and you think your country is rich, and you start to trade your resources, your country and the people will suffer. And that is torturing humans. So free education can be good if we can afford for it, and if we can let the people learn about our resources. Thank you.
Let me have a few comments to make on free education. It's been there since 1957, but not the way it's being implemented. How can my batsman who cleans my house go to school and pay fees, or pay as well as myself, a chief of defense staff or security advisor? The system we had was that the fee for ordinary people, fishermen, farmers, poor people. Well, how could I become serious? If a fisherman today, I'll tell you, you will not even become anything in Ghana unless somebody push you. So the whole idea was help children of poor people to come up. And it wasn't meant for rich people. I could have grandson or granddaughter get free education. It's just rubbish. It's nonsensical. It's for people at Keshi, at Mugwa, to the Mensa, at the no winning. I could hear the weight when they hit the ground. I was sitting at the beach. Yes, I became chief of defense staff. My mother was self-contained. There was no way she could pay my school fees. There was no way my father could. The state comes in there and help you to become somebody. But not the children of ministers who are driving land cruisers. Not the president who is driving so many. It doesn't make sense. It is stupid. So let's make policies which make sense. I went to Britain and get with my son. He's here right now. He's a medical surgeon in Britain. When the best, I didn't pay one peso. They were what you call means testing. I filled a big form. There are children and other people dependent upon me, so I couldn't pay. The state then paid my son to become a surgeon as I speak to you now. That is how you manage a nation. But today, you go to school, free. And as I'm saying, I was saying a moment ago, my partner who treats my room, if his child went to school, it's free. I can defend that. But how can I not pay my children's school fees? I can of course pay. Why do you say pay for me? So that we are not able to. The school education system now, look, they are hungry. They're not doing Gary, they can't get Gary, please. Say I am lying and I can't prove you. I build a rally, I go there, they are hungry. So don't do things which doesn't make sense. We don't use our heads properly. I'm sorry. And you young people, you are better educated. I never went to school. I went to graduate at the age of 20. And by the age of 3 years, I had completed my education into the army. Fast track. Went to the army with the practical and Achimota, and go and see my record in Ghana and in Britain. The greatest army school in the world, Sandhurst. Some was a fisherman. Another was selling plantain market. Let's keep Ghana that ordinary people can rise. Because the way it is now, they will never rise. We are stepping on their neck. They can't rise. And that's not fair. Again, when people retire, the car that, you have official car, then the car for the ministers. I have one as a school advisor. When I retired, my daughter said, I said, I wouldn't take the car. I said, why not, I don't take the car? Everybody's taking the car. And I said, I am not everybody. And you know, go and take the bloody car to the state. It's wrong. Let's have integrity. Let's have morality. It is wrong. Why should you come? Next time they are going, they go to other countries and then buy new one. How can you be rich? You'll be stupidly poor. That's what we are. You are poor with stupidity. And that's what happens. If I live in Ghana, I'm alive, and Kwame becomes somebody, I'll make sure that we do all these stupid things, we stop doing that. Anybody from Labadi, you go to Labadi, see train. So Kwame Nkrumah, the land there, a huge land, built since 1966. But the point of the throne, it came on the next year, 67. The government decides not to go ahead. The property belongs to Labadi people. Why are they taking them? And Ghanaian people. They are selling the new press house to mute, like dumb, deaf and dumb. And you go, who is scaring you? Nobody can scare you. Tell the truth, I've never been scared by anybody. Because I always live by the truth and will die by the truth. Why are you selling the land there? You go to Makwala, go to old Kingsway, driving down Cocoa Board to ETC, see the women on the street. That makes me sick. My mother never sold food stuff on the streets. Yet we don't care. Well, our land producers, we never around. And then we sell the assets and press again. Have you been bribed not to open your mouth for what? What bribe you? What will change your mouth? Look, you can talk. I keep on saying, Kwame, 2 years I'll be 90. I don't know whether I'll be around. Maybe I'll be gone. But I worry for you. I worry for you.
Thank you.
So last question. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, we are yearning for the youth, and the same youth are still following NDC and NPP. So what is your position? So you are just crying for youth. All your message is youth empowerment, how you can burn all your youth. But the same people still vote campaign for NDC and NPP. Are they ready for you? Lastly, how do you see can we use common currency to trade? Because we are talking about $1 million, and now can we use a common currency if your policy comes? Is the issue of common currency. We are not the city is weak. So how can you use common currency in order to trade around in our trade and business? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. No, I would answer his question first because it's two questions, right? So let's start with the youth. And this is a great moment to address this issue. That the youth might be making a lot of noise and not be using their voice as much as they're supposed to. Don't think I don't know it, I do. Don't think I also don't know that they're splitted and they're over there and over there. Because I found the roots. And the root is when they have the chance to have their democratic right and learn about democracy, they don't allow them. They let them go into university and that's where they buy them. That's when they make them the SRCs and start giving them money to campaign. And so we're cheating our children to become straight, corrupt politicians, or it's either that or they're in the church praying and they're going to become some kind of pastor that will tell you what your future is going to be like, but they can't determine their own future. This is a country that we live in that I want to make it very clear that I don't need your consent to love you. I don't need your consent to stand for you. So I want to make it very clear to the youth that as much as I stand for them and I scream for them, it's not because I need your consent. It's because I'm thinking about the ones who are unborn yet to come. Because I know that if I don't fix this problem, and if I don't help fix it, it will become a generational problem, and it will keep going down and down and down and down and down. So I don't just think for the people of today, but I also think for the people for tomorrow. And that's why I stand for the youth. So that's what I mean by I stand for the youth. And I know most of them don't even have votes, because when I started advocating for this continuation for voting, for vote registration, they all went quiet. I was expecting the youth of this country to get up and stand for their rights and ask questions to the EC. Why are you not allowing us to have the votes? Why are you giving us 20 days out of the whole year to practice democracy? But they can't. But it's not my problem, and I will not be responsible for someone being cowed. But I'm a very courageous man, and I was born to be like that. And I'm sure that's the reason why God has chosen me to come and lead. Because if the youth had that courage, maybe they would have started this before me. But my neck is out, my face is out. I have started a movement, and I have opened a door that not only me will be like this as from now, from tomorrow, in the years coming, you're also going to see young people like me who will gather the courage and start to work like this. And it's because we need to start our leadership from a younger age. Don't expect people who have outlived their future to build your future. General is here. He's already accepted to you that I'm 88 years old. I want 10, 20 years for him, but he's only thinking that it's 2 years. So if someone is 75 years old, don't think that they can think to build your future for you for the next 50 years or 80 years. Leadership should start when we're young. When you look at Nkrumah, when he started this, he was in his 40s. All the people around him were 40s. They were energetic. They were aggressive. They were ready to work. They were ready to stand in the sun. And why are you just standing there and thinking that the old man who you are responsible to look after them, they looked after you before. It's your time to look after them. You are still thinking that they're going to build your future. I think people who are thinking this way are lazy people. They're not ready to get up. And a lot of Ghanaian youth are like that. I am addressing this issue now because they think all they have is a voice, and I'm the youth, and I'm the youth, my friend. Tomorrow will come, you will no more be the youth. You will be an old man. So if you're going to stand on your feet now and move and make sure that you contribute to the success of the development in this country, you better do it now to be with the history men for tomorrow. Now, the second one is about the currency, right? Why do we have a currency that will base the currency on someone else's currency? Our currency is valued and pegged by the US dollar. But here is the expression in the mistake we're doing. They always say that to make or to create wealth or value, you need wisdom. And it's true. You need a lot of wisdom, you need a lot of knowledge. But to be wise, what does it take? You simply need to understand what it takes to be stupid so you don't repeat stupidity. And you're a wise person. Excuse my language. But coming to the fact of what we are doing with our currency, that we keep repeating that. Okay? The US dollar has pegged gold to the US dollar as their reserves. They come to buy the gold from you, give you the US dollar, and then you pledge your cedi to it. And you don't have anything to take the US dollar into your system constantly. Americans are not buying anything from us every day. We are buying things from them every day. So we're forced to change our cedi to their dollar and go and buy those things. They don't buy anything. The only thing they buy from us is the gold. And they don't buy it from the citizens. They buy it directly from the government. So why haven't we hedged our cedi to our gold? I want to tell you that one of our main policies of the freedom economy, the economic freedom that we're bringing is this: hedging the gold to the cedi. This would make Ghana become the #1 country that can control a continental currency. Because we use that to build. I know some of you heard of the Freedom Coin. Yes, it was very scary. If the government had to let me in, I'll probably become the next trillionaire and I'll borrow money to everyone in Africa. Because you just have to create reserves. And you have the reserves. We have attributable reserves in this country. Trillions of gold. Trillions. We have been so lazy, just like how we're voting, just like how we're standing up for our rights. And the gold is there. We haven't even bought the right plants to do hard rock mining, this, that, just galamsey. We're just, creeping around the sun and taking small gold from gravels. When you have the rock there, and even the government's investment should be in a rock. Why should we have the likes of Ashanti Goldfield when it's not Ashanti? The company is somewhere from South Africa. Why should we have all these companies from Belgium and from Australia in our country? And they're taking our gold to go and create reserves, and they borrow money just by showing the gold they've taken from us and come back and re-borrow it to us. They take all our concessions. Come on. It's the thinking process. It's dead. It's dead. And we cannot be sitting here and thinking that somebody will come from outside and build our nation for us and make our currency stronger. We are going to make our currency stronger. If we have all of these platforms, which is industrial, we will have a circulating economy. In fact, I intend to import talents. The idea of me telling you that I'm going to take the Chinese and keep them here for working for 4 years hard labor is part of importing talent. But I'm cutting the importation system out because they're already here and they've spoiled my water. After that, I will still bring different types of people in the world, from Europe, from America, from everywhere. They have to come and work for us. The same gold, they can drill, they can do the job for us. We just need to think like investors and business people. And that's why I think Ghana needs this sort of new leadership. Not the leadership who have studied political science, but doesn't know how to build a building or doesn't know how to create business. We need a CEO in this country. Someone that values the resources in this country. Someone that values the humans in this country. Someone that values the citizens in this country. Someone that values their position, that they are responsible and accountable for this country. And those that know the value of money will always understand what life is worth. I am one of those. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Eugene Osafo Kasa. I'm a blogger and the president for New Media Association of Ghana. The various cancellations you've had so far and the obvious delay from the EC to your application, do you see that as a deliberate attempt to sabotage you? And secondly, in case your picture does not appear on the ballot paper, what is your next move after that? Thank you.
Thank you. So, yes, there's been a lot of cancellations and there's been a lot of destructions. It looks like it's a sabotage, and really it could be defined as that. People like us, we refuse to accept these things. I always think that if you're looking for strength, then first of all you should find your weakness. And whenever people come against you, that problem you should embrace. Behind that problem, you're going to find a greater opportunity. When the convention was cancelled, we became one of the most popular political movement in the history of Africa. We went across to China, to Spain, to France. They were all talking about the man in the mask. In fact, I didn't know that I was the first person in history to have come out politically with a mask on. And now I'm sure very soon there are going to be some universities in the world that they will learn about this particular movement and how it came and changed the narrative of politics. See, I'm not saying that I know exactly what I'm doing and exactly who I'm going to be tomorrow, but I'm listening to the voice and I'm obedient and I'm fair and I'm moving forward And those who think what I'm doing cannot be done should not just get in the way. Because as you're seeing, people are falling and people are stumbling. People think that they're pulling me down, but they're pushing me up. People think that they're going to stop what I'm doing, but they're giving me more confidence, more vim to do what I'm doing. And on this note that I will use to answer the second question at the same time, that am I expecting to see my face on the ballot? Yes, I am expecting to see my face on the ballot, because I've done everything that is right to be a part of this national governance. If I don't deserve to be on the ballot, then what is the proof that people who are already on there have the right to be there? Because I'm a basic citizen who is following the rules, the regulations of this country. What you want us to submit, we're going to submit it. Whatever that you want us to do, we're going to make sure we do it. But yeah, you can cancel events, you can cancel TV shows, you can cancel that, you can change headlines. But this is the government, and we expect the government to do the right thing. You know, I mean, there must be a lot of corruption in this country, but I must say that we should not mix that with our governance. It's very important that we protect the governance of this country. And I would like to use this moment to also address this issue with the media of this country. That I always want to tell you, since I got into this political industry, I realized that a lot of these media platforms are in the pocket of politicians and not in the interest of the nation. I am using this moment to address you that, listen carefully. You might have a job that you're doing, but remember, if you connive the mindset of this nation and drift them into a different place by lying to them for the sake of a politician's interest, you're partly responsible for all of these people who are dying, jobless, struggling, they're cursing. Let's start to deal with facts and truth. That is the subject of the matter. In the past 40 years, this country's governance has been based on the media's final presentation or awareness or message that they sent. And from the time I started the new force, I have witnessed a lot of backwards of messages, upside down messages, turning it this way, that way. We cannot do this to our people. If we want to go all the way to become as trustworthy as the likes of CNN and BBC or whatever Africa media platform, that one day the world would like to listen to whatever information that they're bringing because they're facts. We should start practicing this now. We should not let the politicians convince us and turn us into Judas, because this country's downfall, I repeat it again, that most of the media platforms in this country are partly responsible for it. And I'm urging all of you, please, let's do what is right for our nation. Let's not stand there and be convinced and let people pay us so we connive with them and do what is opposite. Let's not tell lies to the people just because we've been paid to tell lies. Let's ask some sensible questions to our leaders so we can find out why they should be accountable and why they should be responsible. Let's not cover their wrongdoings and try to pull anything else that will come out from any angle. So please, the national media and all the entities, all the people, the workers, the owners, bring your head together. There's a revolution going on around the world. And it's not just Ghana. It's everywhere in the world. And remember, you pay a price for the life you live and the thoughts you breed. Thank you.
I have one word. If the Electoral Commission put obstacles in the way of one, the question was, how would he react? One is, the reason I'm with Kwame is this, that I'm doing Kwame has money. I'm not here because of his money. Get that very clear. I'm here because I want a better Ghana after me. if the Electoral Commission put obstacles in the way of Kwame, the youth of this country should wake up and act. Because here's a man who is going to save them, and they are putting obstacles in his way. He doesn't care. Kwame can go to Europe if he wants to. But you don't ask how would you react. Okay, sit down, open your mouth and watch him. Don't be silly, come on. You should act. You don't know much about history. I've been involved in all the, I've not been involved. I've been around with all the schools and government schools and running schools. I fought running several times. We came together. I have principles in life. Here's a man, I'm not here because I want anything from Kwame. Because I'm worried about when I go, what Ghana am I leaving behind? Wow. Legacy. And I saw, like, in a dream, a savior. Like in Nkrumah Day, I was a young man, 10, 11 years when Nkrumah came. And Kwame reminds of Nkrumah's coming, and Kwame Nkrumah mobilized the youth, the unemployed, the fishermen. You know, there was only Hayford who was educated lawyer. They were all ordinary people. Kofi Bakon's father, NAPO in Kumsa, Mumuni Baumia's father, I knew all of them. But they didn't come. Nkrumah was a leader that needed to be followed. So please, if the Electoral Commission, I will talk to them. If they don't wake up and do anything stupid, they will sink them to a civil war. Because the youth will be angry. I don't want this here. Like in Kenya or anywhere else. I don't want it. Or Sudan. Let's have a plain, level field and let the people make a choice. But don't put obstacles in anybody's way to stop him or her from standing. But if you did that, don't blame me. You young people too. You will come to my grave and pour libation and say, General, you warned us, we didn't listen to you. May God rest you peacefully. I'm not joking. I'm serious. I'm not sitting here. My wife isn't well. I shouldn't be here. And I have to leave her and come. Because Ghana first before even my wife. Yes. So, those of you who are being given money to shut up, for Christ's sake, think of yourself, not in yourself, your children, your grandchildren. What kind of Ghana you are leaving behind for them to inherit? Why should you go and fight? You should fight for him when you come to fight for us. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It seems we've come to the end of our press conference.
University, and I will university plan, and I will poly, and I will maybe Biela will Biela. Blah, not in one shop. So we are branch here, now it's so. Now when you school, that's always to be the whole. And now we are going to man from a point time. Blah, not in one shop, then found was some. The two are being prices, no. Now it's what post them for now, when I crack, and they are chose school fees. When I crack, again, the Biela will chow money, and now papa, and try by you, and chow beer. I'm not to football to become fun on one shop of mamma. One will have to man, run, and my bawa, I'm a number two bench, and then never to me. You were top and down. There were t-shirt, there was shirt, there were boxer, there were singlet, there were joggers, there were jeans. You can't jeans, there were jeans. And never find out by into the team. There were 20 shop for more. Hey, Papa Chafamo now, what 20 shop for more, a phone. Why, I am the same minimum. And your mother for a check. And it's only 1,000 series, 2,000, 500. Women never be a bra, no wow. Anybody you will to a flower station, We have flower station because all the anointing one shop. O call open your betro. Let them so here to find here for a number 0243 63 3885.
Etufuwa mubaye mukama oba so hwe ma nyansa ya wa bag ya wa tese ya wa nyema bebre bitimi ni body ya wa nyema bebre ya mpaboa edey invest for haya no mu nyina be fanya mato ebi mu business
this me we school am funu mai epe ntade nda ya ade ba no tia na me ede me ba no na mu nse nyama ede da fem so on man am funu this kaka cry ede she mu am funu ede that start me business kakra and to do bia men ko bia en bra no to